All right, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle a huge question today, one that sits right at the heart of pretty much any spiritual quest. It's this fundamental tension, a conflict between two really powerful and you'd think opposite directions that mystics have wrestled with for, well, centuries.
And really, it all boils down to this one question, right? Are we here to escape? Is the whole point to rise above this messy, beautiful, crazy world and get back to some kind of pure, otherworldly source? Or is it the exact opposite? Are we meant to dive in deeper, to embrace it all more fully than ever before?
So you've got these two directions, one going up and out, the other going down and in. And look, these aren't just, matters of opinion or some philosophical debate. They're actually two totally different paths. They give us two completely different answers for what it even means to be human and what we're supposed to be doing here.
So to make this real, we're going to put two very different frameworks side by side. Think of it like a case study. On one side, you have Sant, which is a classic path of ascent, of going up. And on the other, we've got the work of Sardello, which is all about deep presence, about incarnation. Let's really dig in and see how these two stack up against each other.
Okay, first up, the path of ascent. This is the one that's all about aiming for the heavens, right? The journey of transcendence. This is the worldview that says the ultimate goal is to leave this world behind.
So in Sant, the name of the game is liberation. The whole point, the ultimate aim, is for the soul to make its way back to its true home. And that home is this purely spiritual place, way beyond our physical universe. It's all about the return journey.
And you can see how this changes everything about how you see yourself. From this point of view, your soul, it's not from around here. It's basically a spark from a much higher place that's gotten tangled up, kind of trapped in the machinery of mind and matter. And the body? Well, it's just the car you're driving for this trip. It's a temporary vehicle, something to be left behind. It's definitely not the destination. So how do you actually do this? How do you make that journey? The method is super focused. We're talking about rigorous meditation designed to pull your awareness away from your senses. The idea is to listen for an inner sound, a current that literally guides you upward through different subtle planes of existence. A living master is absolutely crucial here, and the end goal is crystal clear: liberation from all this planetary entanglement.
Okay, now let's do a complete 180. Let's flip this whole thing on its head. What if the point isn't to leave at all, but to arrive, to be even more here? This brings us to the path of descent, the idea that the sacred is found right here in the now.
Enter Sardello. Coming from a depth psychology background, he gives us this really radical alternative. For him, spirituality has nothing to do with escaping the world. It's all about awakening to the world. The whole goal is to engage with life so deeply, with so much presence, that we actually help awaken the soul of the world, what's sometimes called the anima mundi.
And wow, this really highlights the difference, doesn't it? In Sardello's view, the soul isn't some poor, trapped thing from another dimension. No, soul is the depth of experience itself. It's embedded in the world, not separate from it. And the body? Forget about it being a temporary car. Here, the body is the sacred place where soul-making actually happens.
And as you'd expect, the method is the polar opposite of Sant. Instead of trying to withdraw from your senses, you dive headfirst into them. You treat them like sacred openings to the world. It's all about slowing down your perception, cultivating a deep feeling awareness, and really engaging with everything. The goal isn't to get free from the world, but to participate deeply with it.
Okay, so we've laid out two completely different maps for reality. One says go up, the other says go in. And this is where they just don't meet. The tension here isn't just a difference of opinion, it's a direct conflict. So let's put them head to head and see just how different they are. Just look at how they see the world itself. For Sant, nature is a lower region, a kind of veil or distraction from what's really important. It can even be a trap. But for Sardello, the world is a partner, a gateway to the sacred, a source of revelation. I mean, a trap versus a gateway, you can't get much more different than that. There's really no middle ground.
And it's the exact same story when it comes to the body. Sant says the senses are distractions, things that pull your attention down and out. So what do? You withdraw from them. Sardello says, no way. The senses are these incredible subtle organs for making contact with reality. So the method is sensory saturation. You want to feel more, not less.
Even where they find their authority is completely different. In Sant Mat, it's a top-down model. Truth comes from a perfect, living master and is passed down vertically to the disciple. But in Sardello's world, authority comes from the ground up, horizontally. It comes from the precision of your own attention as it connects with the world.
And this might be the biggest difference of all. Sant Mat is essentially a non-psychological path. The goal is to rise above all the messy stuff, the difficult emotions, the subconscious patterns, what you might call the shadow. Sardello's approach, coming from depth psychology, says you have to do the opposite. You have to descend directly into that shadow material. That's where the real work of soul-making is done.
So, where does that leave us? Are we stuck? Do you have to choose one or the other? Escape the world or be fully in it? Well, maybe not. Let's see if there's a third way, a way to hold this tension and create something new.
You know, the author of the material we're looking at, someone who's walked in both of these worlds, offers this really powerful idea. He says the real path, it isn't up or in. It's the path that opens up right at the meeting point, the place where that inner light and sound from the upward path meets the soul of the world from the downward path.
And this is so important. This isn't about picking one or trying to mush them together into some kind of bland compromise. You can't just blend them. The real spiritual work here is to learn how to live in that tension. It's about holding both the pull towards the heavens and the pull towards the earth at the same time, without letting go of either one.
A great way to think about it is like building a toolbox. A modern mystic might say, okay, from Sant Mat, I'm taking the reality of inner light and sound. From Sardello, I'm taking this idea of the world as a living sacred partner. And why stop there? Maybe you add in the deep emotional honesty from David Hawkins, or the insights into brain science and unity from Jill Bolte Taylor. You're not buying into a whole system, you're just grabbing the tool you need for the job at hand.
And really, what this all points to is that our actual, direct, lived experiences are they're too big for any one single system to hold. They just are. If you're a mystic who has genuinely experienced both that transcendent inner light and the living soul of a tree, you can't just pick one and pretend the other isn't real. You have to find a way to make space for both.
So that leaves us with this final question to chew on. What if the true path isn't about finding some perfect, straight line to follow from A to B? What if the path is the tension? What if the whole journey is just the act of holding that impossible, creative space between heaven and earth right here, right now, in your own life? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.